Welcome to the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Spring Road in Elmhurst, Illinois, the 26th parade. And John Quigley, head of the Chamber of Commerce, Ken Bartels from Community Bank, and we've got ourselves a great parade, and the leprechauns took the snow away.
Shut them at Garner, we're doing fine today. It's a beautiful day, little overcast, but you see the parade marching by, led off by the Elmhurst Police Department, and then the Color Guard from the Elmhurst American Legion THB Post 187, led by Bill Shanklin.
Another great day for this parade, and we wouldn't have thought that just a little while ago.
No, the forecast this week started with tornadoes, then warm weather, then threats of a horrible snowstorm, but it's all cleared up for us here in Elmhurst, and the crowds are out in big fashion.
Mission Barbecue, big truck just went by. We will see a lot of entertaining floats today, John. We've got at least 8 Irish bands involved, all sorts of dancers, and then of course the community in force representing all of the various organizations, as well as political candidates or two.
We'll have a few of those since we've got a April 4th primary for the consolidated elections coming up. So that's going to be out there as well. We also, as typical, will have all the traditional things people love about this parade, all of the Shriner units, the little cars, the little motorcycles, all those kinds of things will be out here again. 26 years, this parade has been going down basically a 6-block stretch of Spring Road, starting at Wilson Street and ending at the railroad tracks just to the north of our location.
Well, basically from where we're sitting, John, the crowds are about 4 or 5 rows deep on both sides of the street. So we've got another significant crowd. Last year we were well over 20,000 was the police estimate.
Yeah, I would think we'll get close to that this year. I don't know that we'll be able to top last year's because frankly 70-degree weather brought everybody out of the woodworks, and especially coming out of 2 years of COVID, everybody wanted to get out and celebrate the parade. Weather is still beautiful. We should get close to 20,000 people.
Well, we were talking before the parade started with some of the senior officers with the Elmhurst Police Department, and they were saying that they had contingency plans for snow, they had contingency plans for freezing rain, they were going to reorient certain elements of the parade, and of course didn't have to do any of that.
Here's my contingency plan for a cold rain. In this little hanging ball from the Elmhurst Police Department is a rain poncho. So I came prepared. I hope I don't have to break this out today. I don't think I will, but thanks to the Elmhurst Police Department for at least having me prepared for a change in weather.
Well, there you go. I don't even know what to say to that. It's the city officials are slowly making their way to the camera angle, so we're going to wait on them a little bit. But I just think this is another example. This parade never gets old. It's not only fun for everybody who comes, but it's a lot of fun for the two of us to do as well.
And we got a great camera crew.
Exactly.
I'd like to thank our guys from Elmhurst TV who are out here doing this all the time. We've been working with them for decades now on this parade, and you'll be able to watch it on Channel 6 of Comcast, Channel 99 of AT&T UVerse. It'll get uploaded to the internet, and you can watch it from the Chamber's website, elmhurstchamber.org.
Once again, here are those city officials I mentioned. The aldermen and the mayor making their way up the street. Looks like they've got a lot of folks passing out some candy. I saw so many kids show up here with buckets, empty buckets. I wonder what that was for.
Well, last year's parade, if you were down in this section, everybody was pretty much out of candy by the time they got here.
Yeah. Here is the new trolley this year, John. The Elmhurst trolley, which will start up in a few months, is red and white this year instead of green and yellow. So we welcome the new trolley to Elmhurst for their run throughout the year.
Fridays and Saturdays starting in June, running through September. And it did get a brand new paint job this year. The beauty about this trolley, Ken, is people can track it on their phones. There's stops here in Spring Road. There's stops at York and Villette. And then in downtown Elmhurst City Center, it does that loop in 30 minutes. So you can get from one stop to another in 20 minutes using this trolley. You can track it on your phone to know where it's at. It's a great opportunity and record ridership last year on the trolley.
Mayor Levin just gave us a shower of candy, so we appreciate that. I'm sure he will circle back later and we'll have a chance to chat with him. City of Elmhurst Bike Ride and Safety Day coming up. They're here with a contingent. See Mike LaCicero coming by. I know he's got handouts.
And right behind them, the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. Mike LaCicero is also active with that organization.
The Bike Ride and Safety Day is Sunday, May 21st. It's the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation contingent going by. The foundation supportive of the Elmhurst History Museum. Dave Olberg promoting and his board going by. We're glad to see all of them.
Then newly elected congressman from the 6th District, Sean Caston. He was actually in town already. He was at York Community High School. His daughter had a track meet, so he didn't have far to go to make it here to the parade.
I want to mention that the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation's annual Beer Fest, get it on your calendars, early Saturday, September 16th this year on the grounds of the Elmhurst History Museum. Superior Ambulance coming through. The ambulance, the flatbed, candy raining down off the flatbed.
I think after last year's parade, everybody doubled their candy budget.
I think there's no question about that. Deb Conroy, DuPage County Chairwoman, and her contingent coming through. Nothing like a song-based gurney.
Yep.
Rolling through.
Then we have our Elmhurst Fire Chief and the Elmhurst Fire Department.
Well, it's a festive day for everybody, whether you're Irish or not. And in Elmhurst, we like St. Patrick's Day so much we celebrate it for most of the month.
No shortage of sirens and horns during this parade either.
This is a truck named Lola.
Lola's a pretty big truck.
Yeah, I think so. O'Hare Towing, and Lola the truck. Well, okay. Jen Ladish Douglas coming through, state representative. Our first bubble machine. Gotta make these notes. Cindy Cronin Cahill, DuPage County Board. Well, they're moving through at a pretty good clip here, John.
Yeah, once we got by all those slow city officials handing out candy. Also, no shortage of convertibles in this parade.
No, absolutely not.
Trolleys and convertibles.
That would have been interesting if it had snowed. Of course, it never has snowed on the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Nope,
so.
It snowed leading up to it, but they were able to get all the snow off the streets for that parade.
Yep. It's rained a few times and a little threatening a couple times too, but it's never snowed. So we'll just keep that going.
Once again, Elmhurst, third largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the state of Illinois. Edward Elmhurst Health, a great asset in our community.
That's one thing. Sitting here, John, we get all these goodies.
I know. I just got a box of chalk from Colin Delau at Edward Elmhurst Health. Thank you.
I mean,
appreciate that.
Who else would you get a box of chalk from?
I have no idea, but I'll chalk it up to him being a nice guy.
Classic
How's
old
that?
fire engine coming through, part of the deal. Our fire chief there at the helm.
And he's cranking that old siren too.
Sure is. Well, here they come. The parade of fire trucks coming in. All shapes and forms. Lights and sirens and
And Ken, over the years, oh, that kind of died out. Over the years, we've only occasionally had a situation where police or fire had to bolt out of a parade. He's having fun with that, too.
They're having fun with that siren, they sure are. Yeah, I know. A couple times they had to make an exit and head off to an emergency, and hopefully that won't be the case today.
I can tell you on a day like today, there are more Elmhurst firemen, more Elmhurst policemen, and more Elmhurst Public Works employees working today than on any other day.
A lot of days, yeah absolutely.
And again, they do a bunch of background stuff so that this parade, street closures, other closures, to be able to get this parade pulled off in this small an area.
Well, yeah, and then they also, work with the neighborhoods to make sure that parking congestion on the auxiliary streets is not bad either. So it's a big effort. It takes literally an entire year to plan this parade. Band of Brothers, Pipes and Drums, our first musical entry in the parade.
And right behind them, Tailgate. You want to take care of your dog? Tailgate's got some of its customers walking in the parade with them today.
We got a few canine friends here walking by. They got to wonder what's going on. This isn't our normal walk. Yeah, quite a contingent. Quite a contingent.
So the tailgate contingent moves by us. And the best part is there's no street cleanup need.
Well,
they moved quickly.
I would think so. And I think I'm watching these crowds just get deeper and deeper alongside of the street here. Spring Road decked out, of course, with the lampposts alternating United States of America flags and the Irish flag. And it's a festive. Spring Road in a lot of communities would be a downtown. And in Elmhurst, it's another economic development area beyond city center, and in addition to a lot of other areas in town as well, York and Villette, Butterfield, Elmhurst Crossing. But this is a special day for Spring Road.
Kelly Stetler, a real estate agent in town, active on a number of fronts, including the Spring Road Business Association. Just walked by with her contingent, mostly her family.
Beth Hostler, District 205 School Board.
We have upcoming consolidated elections for Elmhurst City Council,
April 4.
Elmhurst District 205 Board of Education, and Elmhurst Park District Board of Commissioners. All those are up, and there are contested seats in all of those elections. So make sure you know about the candidates, and whoever you vote for, vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Typically in a non-mayoral election, voting across the city is anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000 of 26,000 eligible voters. We'd like to get that number up. If you don't vote, can you really complain?
Well, I think people do, but you're absolutely right. If you don't vote, you haven't got the same stake.
And Courtney Troutman with the school board.
Well, it's great to see the political process play out in town, and this is an active community as it relates to participation in local elections, and we just want to encourage that more and more. We got our first Shriner unit coming up here too.
You can hear them rumbling.
You can. This is a pretty traditional group. This is the regular motorcycles, and as John, as you said earlier, we're going to see every manner of Shriner vehicle in this parade.
I always like to remind people that these units don't come here free of charge. They have to be paid to come here and perform, and part of that is covered by the sponsors. Our gold sponsors are Count on Courtney Troutman, who just passed by, Kelly Henry for D205, Beth Hostler for D205 School Board, Advanced Orthodontic Specialists, Elmhurst Dentistry for Kids, Superior Ambulance, and the Concrete Doctors, all gold sponsors for this event.
They're gonna do some maneuvering here in front of us, John. These guys can't maneuver quite as well as the flying carpets, but they do all right.
Trying to get them all to pop a wheelie.
It's always interesting too to see all the different shades of green that exist in the universe, because they're all represented at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Elmhurst. Third largest parade as far as we know in the state of Illinois.
Elmhurst YMCA coming by.
Some of the crowd chanting that old YMCA song, the Village People. Coming on down.
And now a tasty treat coming by us, Ken. Kilwin's Ice Cream.
Kilwin's in downtown city center here in Elmhurst. Number of other locations as well. So great addition. It's good to see him in the parade. They don't look to be handing out ice cream, but
Elmhurst Dentistry for Kids.
brand new building on York Road for dentistry for Elmhurst Dentistry for Kids.
Very nice build out.
Very nice build out. You bet.
Next up, Jake Medding, candidate for City Council, Ward 2 Alderman. And he's got Pete DeCiani marching with them today.
There you go.
And he brought the dogs out today, too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, there's a big Jake Medding face on a stick.
Yeah, I see that. Here come the Shannon Rovers Irish Pipe Band. We'll listen to them as they go by. Tim Sheehan with the Elmhurst Park Board and his contingent.
What the Shannon Rovers show is today is kilt-friendly wearing weather.
Have you ever worn a kilt, John?
I have not.
I have not either.
And we have the Crisscross Foundation. And then Dr. Kelly Henry, candidate for school board. Well, her contingent's kind of strung out here.
Yeah.
So we've got to wait for them to catch up. They're actually caught at the Prairie Path,
Probably.
the back end of that contingent.
Somebody might be making house calls.
And we've got another bubble machine as well.
Absolutely. Good idea. You know, the wind's died down a little bit. I'm looking at the flags, and the bubbles are staying lower with the crowd. They filter in through.
So let me jump in real quick with our silver sponsors. Pozzi Pizza, Chicago Records Management, John Nolden, Guaranteed Rate, Kelly Assef for D205 School Board, Elm Sales, Elmhurst Youth Baseball, Sock Southpaw, at the Schiller Team, LW Reedy Real Estate, the UPS Store, 7041, Tim Sheehan for Elmhurst Park Board, Fred's of Deb Conroy, Elmhurst Baseball and Softball League, Sky Zone Elmhurst, Fitness Formula Clubs Elmhurst, Helping Hands Cleaning Service, Stretch Lab Elmhurst, Augram Funeral Home, and Manny's Ale House Elmhurst. Those are all our silver sponsors. Ken, it takes almost $60,000 to put this parade on. The city gives a grant for about $17,000 or so, and then it's up to the parade committee and Chair Jim O'Connor to go out, find sponsors, and then each of the entries pay a fee to be in the parade.
Well, $60,000 is a lot of money, but there's a lot of people here that would be extremely happy, or unhappy rather, if this parade ever went away. So it's great that it's a whole year, as I said earlier, to put it on, and it's important to the community without question.
We had Rex Irby, a city council candidate, and now Live Hydration coming through. brand new to the community.
Brand new on Spring Road.
Yes. It's one of those businesses where if you need a little pick-me-up, you go in, lay down, and they take care of you. Then the Schiller team, one of our silver sponsors. Oh, they got all their beads tangled up.
They sure do.
It's going to take them forever to untangle those beads.
I don't think that'll get done by the time she finishes the parade.
No, because she's got less than a block to go.
So someone's going to have a lot of extra beads at the end of this. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. St. Patrick's Day parade on Spring Road in Elmhurst.
Have you heard of the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation? Its purpose is to provide support through advocacy, education, and fundraising for the Elmhurst History Museum, our local Elmhurst history, and the Churchville one-room schoolhouse. Established in 2007 as a nonprofit organization, we initiated an endowment fund and raised funds to complete the renovation of the historic Churchville schoolhouse. We conducted a capital campaign to develop the new exhibit, by all accounts, the story of Elmhurst, at the History Museum, and we continue to provide financial support to enhance exhibits, programs, and events at the museum. Yes, we feel strongly about our mission and encourage you to become a member or donor of the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation. Please call or go to our website for more information to learn about the benefits of becoming a member or donor by investing in our town, our history, our heritage.
We're back. Spring Road, the Elmhurst St. Patrick's Day Parade 2023, the 26th year for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. The only year we missed was 2021. And we all know why that was. In fact, in the 2020 parade, we had the parade and then we dropped out of sight for a little while due to COVID. So
by the end of that March, everything was shut down.
Was quite a thing to go through as a human being, and we all got through it, and we lost a lot of folks along the way, and it's going to be part of all of our life stories.
And we have another red trolley coming our way.
Yeah, we might. This is John Nolan's group.
Yep.
I had to figure that out here real quick, but that's who it is. Hi, Frank. And I think starting to come into your screen is a legitimate southpaw pretending to be a leprechaun. Up on top, the Chicago White Sox here for Happy St. Patrick's Day in Elmhurst, and southpaw looks pretty comfortable on top of that truck.
That's because he's been to the upper deck at the Sox bar.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Back it up, guys.
I was at the Sox last home playoff game.
Yeah, I was too. That's fun. It's just fun. Elmhurst Youth Baseball.
They're all jammed in real tight.
They are for sure. And it's the youth leagues in Elmhurst are plentiful and excellent, almost top to bottom.
Spring training starts soon.
Here is the Elmhurst Independent floating on by.
And then I'll do the honors for you. It's Community Bank of Elmhurst.
It is.
And of course, who do they sponsor, Ken?
They sponsor the York Marching Band, which is following right behind them. We're going to listen to them. They're out in force. I don't play an instrument, but I can only imagine that playing it and marching at the same time would be twice as difficult. York Township Supervisor John Valley. Always good to see John in the parade.
Of course, Elmhurst divided into two townships, York Township and Addison Township, providing all kinds of services, particularly to senior citizens in its communities.
I never forget you two guys.
Thank you, John.
18 years or 19 years.
There you go. See, Tony.
John always brings us a bag of candy.
He does.
And he doesn't throw it at us like the mayor does.
Well, you gotta watch the mayor.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
You bet. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
It was Tony Cazone, who is my partner for the Memorial Day Parade, announcing, because you're busy running the Memorial Day Parade.
That's true.
Thank you.
She made the mistake of dumping Smarties on my table. You know me, Ken.
I do.
I am a Smarties guy.
Yeah.
We got L.W. Reedy Real Estate coming up. And I'm going to dump it over to you, Ken, so I can have some Smarties.
Okay. Well, we're coming through. L.W. Reedy, as you said, is coming through. We've got ourselves a miniature train heading down the street. Of course, trains are a familiar part of Elmhurst, Illinois, daily life. But this one we don't see all that often, so it's kind of fun. I think that's the perfect way to ride and to be in this parade, I think.
The kids have the most comfortable ride and the best view.
I think so. I think so. There's Larry Reedy coming up at the end of his contingent. Pozzi de Pizza coming through. They're in the midst of a nice expansion on York Road. And the Shriners got themselves an airplane this time, John.
Yeah, and there's spots in the parade where they got to pull the wings up.
Yep.
Because there's not enough open street space.
gets a little narrow with these crowds in a few spots. So
he looks just like Tom Cruise
yeah,
in Top Gun Maverick
absolutely.
right now.
Yeah, he does.
A striking resemblance. You just got to picture Tom Cruise with a fez.
So it's Medina Aviators. We fly so that children can walk. As I said, it's our second Shriners unit. We'll see several more as the parade goes by.
If you're going to jump in now. And Ken, I got us our first guest of the day, Todd Benson. He's out taking photographs today. He's active in the Spring Road Business Association, but we want him to talk about York and Villette because there's a farmer's market coming up again this summer.
For about the 45th year, Elmhurst will have a great farmers market the first Wednesday of June through the last Wednesday in October. Every morning at 7 a.m. We start on Wednesdays till 1 p.m. Plenty of parking. We have plenty of vendors, and it's a great way to come out and meet the community. Thank you for supporting and promoting the parade, John. And today is a great day here.
Yeah, Wednesdays at York and Villette for the farmers market. Always a good time, and some great deals too.
Always. And a great day here on Spring Road.
It's always a great day, no matter what, when it's St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you both for coming out.
Thanks, Todd.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
help.
At Elmhurst Preparatory School go by us as we were chatting with Todd.
And there's no shortage of great educational institutions in our community, whether they're part of the public school system or various private and parochial schools that are available to residents of Elmhurst.
Well, the realtors will always say that one of Elmhurst's great attractions is the quality of our educational system, along with a number of other things too, but people like to come to Elmhurst for the schools.
And we just had the concrete doctors come by.
Actually, they're still coming by.
Yep.
It takes a while for concrete.
They're waiting for the concrete to set?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly right. Speaking of concrete setting, have you seen how fast the vine at First and Haven is going up? The new
200
apartment building?
luxury apartments? Yes. That's going up quickly. And downtown Elmhurst, nearly a 0 first floor vacancy rate. Most of the space in the first floor of the Mark has now been leased out, soon to be filled by tenants.
And there's active interest in the vacancies too, so they won't be vacant very long.
Advanced orthodontist specialist. Apparently they're all reloading bags of whatever they're handing out.
It looks to be bouncy balls.
Oh,
Sure enough.
all right, need a bouncy ball over here. There we go.
There we go.
There you go. Got it right there. And that's actually from Concrete Doctors.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
wherever it's from, it's
the
still
swag,
a bouncy ball.
the swag you get from this this production is amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, as you were
chalk, bouncy balls, a beer cup.
Well, as
What
you were
more?
saying earlier, John, the size of the bags that some of the kids here have brought to collect the candy and other valuable trinkets being passed out. I mean, some of these bags are gigantic.
This is for them. This is like Halloween,
Oh, yeah.
and they don't have to go door to door.
That's right. Everybody, it comes to them.
Yes.
And front row seating in the parade is a big deal for these kids. Great American Exteriors, also a great Spring Road business
Yep.
coming into form.
And of course, the original owner of Great American Exteriors, Doug Kuster, was one of the originators of this parade, along with Frank Catalano Sr., Charity Pagoni Augram, and Mayor Marcucci.
Sky Zone Elmhurst coming on camera.
See, I think Sky Zone should have a trampoline truck with somebody jumping
Sure.
up to treetop level.
Yeah. We'll have to suggest that to him. And maybe he can be sponsored by his insurance provider.
When I went to school at Immaculate Conception, we still had trampoline class, and they so wisely put the trampoline on the stage, so it was even higher in the air.
Exactly.
So if you fell off, you were going all the way down.
Well, encouragement to not fall off. And another Shriner unit, miniature fire wagons. I don't know that I've ever seen this one.
No, I haven't. That's a new one.
I told you 1:30 on
Elmhurst Baseball League.
The Explosion Baseball and Softball Explosion League.
This is another big contingent. Coach said, you're marching in the parade.
Softball players are trying to keep the baseball players in line.
Yeah, the parade is a great excuse to wear garish green clothes.
There you go.
Just saw a pair of shamrock pants go by that it's hard to forget that.
I wish when I was a kid I had this many athletic participation options.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was basically Cub Scout softball and Little League baseball, and that was it.
This looks like School of Rock to me. Can't quite see the sign yet, but I'm pretty sure it's School of Rock.
I think you're right on that one.
School of Rock, sitting at Maple and First. Maple and First. Old Chamber of Commerce building.
That is correct.
I tell you, you go by there certain times of the day, you hear all sorts of music coming out of those windows.
School of Rock will actually be performing in the 6th concert of the Summer Concert Series here on Spring Road, right across the street at the gazebo.
All right, Stretch Lab, new business in downtown City Center.
There you go. More swag. They're a new chamber member, so
There you go.
there you go.
Helping Hands Cleaning Service, John. We know a little about them because they're going to be honored next week.
They are the 2002 AJ Tachi Taronis Business of the Year for the Chamber of Commerce.
I think it's 2023, but that's okay.
No, they're for 2022.
That's right, 2022. I'm sorry.
Yes,
You're right.
And they will be honored March 10 at our gala, which is going to be at the recently rebranded Elm West Banquets, formerly Diplomat West Banquet Halls at North Avenue and 83.
And we'll also feature a Spring Road icon, John DeVries, being inducted into the Civic Hall of Fame.
Longtime owner of DeVries Animal Clinic, active in city government, active in the Spring Road Business Association, and more importantly, my longtime vet. He's taking care of all of my dogs.
Mine too. FFC, large fitness formula club on Addison Street in City Center.
That Great Dane looks pretty fit.
Sure does. All decked out in the proper swag, too.
Then we have Kelly Assep, District 205 school board candidate. No, actually the big dogs, the big dogs with that unit. Long
Okay.
legs, can outwalk everybody.
How you doing?
And we got some nice flags coming up right behind Kelly's unit. I know it's a police unit. Waiting to see what community.
Looks like Medina.
Oh, it's the Medina cops.
Rolling through.
Well, you know, you've got all those
Yeah.
planes and motorcycles
That's
and
right.
stuff.
Might
You
as
gotta
well have a
police
car.
to
Might as
track
well
them
have a
down.
car. You bet. Great to have them. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you got to pull the guy over. Hey, where's the fire, buddy?
Bob Dunn, candidate for Park District. His contingent coming forward.
Former alderman.
I see the mayor's circled back. He's
That may be why we haven't heard from the mayor yet today.
snuck back around. It's his second time through the parade. I think the mayor's going to come over and join us for a few minutes, John.
We've got another guest coming up for you, and on today it's Mayor Scotty O'Levin. How you doing?
Scotty McLevin. What a coincidence this is.
So how about that snowstorm we didn't get?
Well, I'm very proud of our city workers because they were up early. They cleared the streets, the sidewalks, and the lawn. So when people woke up this morning, we have this beautiful, picturesque town now.
Well,
So-
I know they had contingencies for everything.
well, yeah, a little overtime, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah, other than possible predictions of rain, snow, tornado, whatever it may be.
Locusts,
Yeah.
I think that was part of it too. So.
Crowds, you walked the parade. We're sitting here.
I would say it's probably every bit as much as there was last year, and it's a very good crowd. You know, it's very enthusiastic and polite.
Well, we've got dancers coming by in your honor, Mr. Mayor.
Unfortunately, I sprained my calf, so I can't be with them.
We always say the Irish dance groups have it best because they have the warmest sweaters out here.
And they're working up a little
working.
something
Yeah.
compared to
they
everyone
are.
else.
They absolutely are.
So, Scott, another great year in the books for the city.
I would say so. Someone recently asked me what our biggest issues are. I was a little embarrassed to say I got to struggle with that. We took care of the flooding, the pandemic. We took care of the finance. Everything's in pretty good shape.
New Dara for school board coming by.
Got to keep the paperwork.
Absolutely. Well, there's no shortage of different kinds of entries in this parade. The Antioch Brass Quintet, I think they've been in every parade I've ever done.
And a regular at the Memorial Day parade as well.
Absolutely, yes.
These guys look like they might be the sons of the originals.
Could be.
And then we have the Elmhurst Eagle Group, always a large contingent.
You guys should be wearing helmets for the candy on this one.
We're getting peppered.
There we are.
By the way, we ratted you out, Mayor, for throwing stuff.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
My man. All right. Eagles.
Thank
Eagles.
Good contingent of Eagles, and now we've got the Elmhurst Rugby Club coming up right behind them.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't they be going the other way?
Could be.
Don't you go backwards in rugby to move forward?
Well, at least they're on the right side of the street.
There you go.
There was quite a contingent of people coming off the train this morning, all dressed in green. So I think we have a large out-of-town population that knows there's a good event happening here this morning.
Absolutely. Another contingent of Shriners. Another type of vehicle.
Right. Who wouldn't buy a used car from this guy?
Well, the Shriners are certainly in.
I think that guy remembers when I bought the car, sold him the car. But,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think so.
So this morning, you were one of the speakers at the Elmhurst University's annual President's Breakfast, a great event as well.
It was a great event. You know, it's really a good opportunity for the president of the university to kind of say thank you for the community and for us to say thank you to him. And it was a room full of everyone who participates, Park District, School District.
And the Park District's coming up right here.
Are they? I did that just to cue you in there,
That was
John.
a very nice segue, yes.
No, those were segues.
Yes, I know.
Nice segue on the segue.
Absolutely.
And then the Impact Dance Academy.
Our park board, all right.
Courts Plus. The Park District offering so many options.
You mean like join or don't join? Oh, no, I see what you mean.
Well.
I'm a member there.
So it's been nice that the Park District was able to expand Park District property this last year, and will be able to do so in the Pick subdivision next year.
Brand new park.
Yeah, they're getting a nice grant for that to make that happen, which is important. I mean, between the adult center and the one across, what do they call that one on Palmer Drive? No candy for you.
I think they saw we have enough.
And we talked a little bit trolley program
Coming back
up and
this
operating.
right. Some people want to expand it, but I think we're going to stay with the same route so that we can get people moved around to the different places where people would want to go eat and drink. A lot more going on Spring Road here. We've got two more new bars and restaurants.
Yep.
So this is getting to be one of the happening business districts in town.
Well, we were saying earlier that in many communities, Spring Road would be their downtown.
It would be. It really would be. I mean, if you went, I won't name any towns now that I think about it.
I wouldn't either.
But, yeah.
As the chamber president, I won't hesitate to name those towns so that we look that much better. Yeah.
I gave him a
Chicago Highlanders, pipe and drum.
And the Medina group right behind them.
And that's one of my hockey player teammates.
All right.
Retired firefighter. He had to play the bagpipes. He had no choice.
Looks like a goalie to me.
Not really.
We saw that the Medina had their own police, and
They do.
we see why.
Yeah.
Because all of these units drive around like maniacs.
I know. We should get him back here to issue some
Yeah.
tickets.
And big election coming up.
Big
April
election.
4.
Yeah, we could.
4 of 7 city council seats contested.
Yeah, new people there. Very contested school board race. I think there's like 9 candidates for 3-4 seats. So
My alma mater, Immaculate Conception.
don't you have to graduate to call your alma mater?
If you check my resume, I don't lie about my where I graduate from, or that I even graduated. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
And right behind, of course, the grade school is IC Catholic Prep. Also my alma mater. And this year is my 50th high school reunion.
I hope you're going.
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah.
I missed the last reunion playing baseball at the Field of Dreams.
It's raining candy again.
They were the state champions, the high school this year, again.
Again, you bet.
We were
Football,
good
there's
in
the
football.
trophy.
Yeah, we were good in football when I was a student. That was before there was a playoff system. But man, have they become dominant.
Were they still wearing leather helmets when you were there?
Helmets? We were a Catholic school. We couldn't afford helmets.
And another Medina unit swinging by. This one is always an interesting one because
It looks like they've had the cooler open before they
does
came
indeed.
by. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the units we all want.
Yeah.
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 Especially when you can haul multiple coolers.
All the better. There's no shortage of coolers in the neighborhoods around
No,
here.
I think it's safe.
Then the Knights of Columbus
Yeah.
stepping up. One of the York and Villette businesses.
Public service, thank you.
I grew up right near York and Villette and frequented the Knights of Columbus when I was a young kid.
Is this our own Knights of Columbus?
Pardon?
Is this our own Knights of Columbus crew?
Yes, I
It
believe
is,
it
all
is.
right.
I wonder where they park that boat the rest of the year.
Salt Creek.
That's right. Why not?
Well, before we let you go, Mr. Mayor, is there any last thing you want to chime in about? Something big?
No,
or?
Johnny,
Oh.
I'll be fine. I'll be quite fine. You take care.
You want to tell us where you're partying tonight?
As the liquor commissioner, I'll be on duty making sure that everyone is safe in town.
You will be going
it'll be a good
everywhere to
idea.
check that their permit is up to date.
That will be.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Oh, I'll take that one. Mr.
Appreciate
Quigley,
it, sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Great
Thank
day.
you, Scott.
Elmhurst Mayor Scott Levin. Another second ward aldermanic candidate, Karen Cienko. And then I believe right behind her is Mark Mulliner's group.
Oh, it's a Mark Milliner sign snuck in somewhere here.
And I know who's carrying the sign, too.
Yeah.
I believe this is J-Dog.
It is.
And then we got some more Shriners.
Yeah. These are true convertibles.
They look like they're setting up for a drag race.
It does. It does. Where else would you set up for a drag race than on a parade route?
Oh, I think somebody jumped the gun. Oh, yeah, somebody jumped the gun.
That was the West Suburban Shrine Club. Been a really good parade in terms of ongoing things to look at. We do have a little bit of a break here, though.
Yeah, we've had some breaks. Usually the breaks are related to candy handing out.
Yes. Yeah.
Groups slow up as they're handing out candy.
Well, as long as they're walking, they slow up. If they instead of throwing candy from top of a truck.
Well, it gives me the opportunity to jump in again and promote our gold sponsors. Count on Courtney Troutman, Kelly Henry for D205, Beth Hostler for D205 School Board, Advanced Orthodontic Specialist, Elmhurst Dentistry for Kids, Superior Ambulance Service, and the Concrete Doctors. Ken, who's up now?
The Trinity Irish Dancers are coming up now, John, and they're dancing away, as you would expect. A lot of wonderful Irish dance troupes in Elmhurst and in other communities as well, but we have our share of world champions.
Oh, no shortage of world champions.
Says he loves some alibis. I'm fighting for the knocking on the door and the ringing on the bells, and all my true love very well.
Nice contingent for the Trinity Irish Dancers.
Oh, when you have your own booster club.
That's right. Well,
and with all the strollers, apparently there's a lot more dancers in waiting.
Yeah, I think the future looks pretty bright.
I'll have to wear shades.
Well, I wear my sunglasses at night.
Uh-oh, there's a goldfish out of the bowl.
You know CPR? I would guess that this is the Goldfish Swim School. What do you
would
think?
guess correctly. Orange, you glad you asked? And then on skates right behind them, the Chiefs Hockey Club. Again, when I was a kid, you could play hockey at the Y. That was like it.
Right.
Unless you played in a rink that one of the dads put up in backyards.
Well, we've got some pirates walking down the street.
Chest number one. Chest number one. Robert, come on.
Have another drink. Well, I don't know that they're from the Caribbean. It's Medina Pirates, though.
I think so.
Arr.
It's bite.
Hello there, good sirs. How are you this time?
Sober.
That's very good to hear. That's very good to hear this time of morning. Maybe later, not so much.
At least one of us is.
These are the Medina Marauders. That's who we were just listening to. Hey, it's the second boat we have in the parade.
We now have 2 boats to 2 trolleys. It's an even race.
It is. Yeah.
Got Mosquito Joe coming by.
There appears to be a few folk that was bitten by mosquitoes. These are unique costumes, I will say.
Scan the code. You can win the house. We're going to drop it off today. If I bring it home, my husband will kill me. So let's scan the house. That's right, baby.
Believe it.
That's right. He's got it. Let's go. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Keller Williams.
Melanie.
Playhouse raffle that they're doing.
Soon coming to Elmhurst. They will be located in the Mark. And speaking of Mark, it's Mark Mulliner. And Mark looking unbelievably not Irish. And right behind Mark is a fellow alderman, Jennifer Veremis. Mark's done great work with the Legion. Jennifer does great work with the USO. Both dedicated to military. And Mayor Levin making his 3rd walk along.
Could have swore he was just here.
These guys probably own dogs. There you go. I do.
And here, John, is the Elmhurst Armpit Orchestra, led by something, Scott Lamort. I don't know, I was going to call him a drum major, but I'm not sure that's true.
Support your local food pantry.
Maybe it should be Scott Laless.
And the world's largest drum.
And you know who their queen is. Dee Longfellow from the Elmhurst Independent.
I had heard that. And their inspiration, Bill Murray, who again didn't show up.
I'll tell you.
Some year he's going to show up.
No, he showed up in 2021, and we didn't have a parade.
There you go. That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
So we're going to ask Dee Longfellow of the Elmhurst Independent to sit down and say a few words, because she's not technically with the Independent today. Dee, you are honored to be what in this parade?
I am the Elmhurst Armpit Orchestra Queen for 2023.
Woo! Amazing.
And I believe I'm the only queen that ever smoked a cigar.
There you go.
On the
Elmhurst
rock.
Bears going by.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, it's got to be a kind of an interesting experience being queen of the Armpit Orchestra.
It is. I'm usually in the front with the Elmhurst Independent, but I'm sort of bringing up the rear here this time, but that's all right. I got a better view of some of the folks down there who don't usually get their picture taken.
Yeah, well, you set up quite a ways down Spring Road.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. First time
But
I had
at
to
least
do
you were
that.
serenaded. your
Yes.
entire ride.
Yes, I was. If you call kazoos playing when the Saints go marching in, serenading, I guess that's what it was. But now who have we got? Oh, this is the
Elmhurst Bears football, same group that was still going by, so they got a pretty large contingent in here. So Dee, how are the crowds farther down the street?
It's pretty busy all the way down, and it has been pretty solid all day. Of course, it's been a little warmer earlier. It's starting. The wind is coming up, and it's getting cooler. But there's still a good crowd down there.
We've been 6, 7, 8 people deep. Right here the entire time.
Yeah, I'm surprised how close people are into the street.
We've got a brief gap because Staley the Bear and his small contingent of dancers
were
performing
right
at the
in way.
intersection.
Just realized I should take my glasses off, I suppose.
Well,
for Joe.
Looks like he's going to perform again to me.
Oh, looks like
There
it.
he goes.
Oh, he's on the floor. He's on the ground.
That's not easy to do.
No,
No,
it's not.
uh,
Woo!
You would think that would leave him with a bear behind.
Oh.
Thank you, folks.
I can't even bear that joke.
Yeah. Come back for the late show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They won some trophies this year.
Yep, they did.
We covered that in the Independent.
I think they're the newest contingent.
And
yes,
in town. Of
Yes.
the
it's
sports
just a
club.
really fun event
appearance
every year.
in this parade.
Does such a good job of it. Everybody
And
works
based
hard.
on the size, it won't be their last parade.
No, probably not.
Well, we'll let you run along. Queens
All right.
Queens have duties.
Thank you.
We know.
Yes, we do. Yes,
So,
we do. We have a great deal to reign over.
Yeah. Did you got the wave down while you were?
Yes. I
Okay.
did get the wave down, and I saw Mayor Morley. So I
Well, there you go.
That the surfs came out. From my,
There you go.
Thank you, Dee.
It's important. All right.
Thrive Pet Care went by, and we've got more Medina
More
cars.
Medina cars.
These are big cars, though, and some really nice old ones. A 34 Chevy.
You're not a cigar guy, are you? Are you? You want one?
Hello, guys. I like the cigar.
Yeah. Classic Buick. Corvette coming up.
Corvette convertible, of course.
Of course.
If you're going to have a Corvette, you should have a convertible.
I think so.
All right.
All right, Dee. Thank you very much.
Stop by.
Okay. Enjoy. Yeah, this is a nice string of vehicles, classic and current.
Yeah.
Hinsdale Humane Society is following this collection of vehicles. They appear to have a mascot out in front of them.
All my dogs have been rescues.
Yeah, mine too, now that I think about it. Yeah.
The rescue, Harley, now 12 years old, rescued him when he was 3 months. So I would like to estimate where we are in the parade, but we have been so out of line in comparison to the lineup, I couldn't venture a guess.
Well,
I can tell you we're 90 minutes in from step off, and an hour and 15 minutes from when we picked up coverage.
I have to say too, and I'm going to apologize if this is the case, but our Grand Marshal, I never saw him. Jack Island, if he went by, I missed him.
Now that you say that, I don't remember seeing Jack.
So our Grand Marshal of today's parade is Jack Island, the former owner and operator of Silverado Grill, the longtime business on Spring Road, recently closed. And if we miss Jack, we apologize. If we didn't miss Jack, he's going to get double billing. So maybe he's still coming. Here's the Spring Inn, also a long-term establishment here on Spring Road. More
Shriners.
There's another Shriner. This one with a circus calliope on board. Relatively subtle.
Yes.
Calliope, but that's what it is.
They need to mic that a little.
Yeah.
And then you saw the Team Guido.
Go Team Guido, sir. Go Team Guido.
That's said by somebody not old enough to vote.
Right. Yeah. Well, we thought the parade might go 2 hours, and it might.
Yeah. And at the back end of Team Guido is the T-Bird I would love to have. That is a classic car. 57.
Yes, it is. Team Elmhurst Soccer Club.
So a mascot I'm unfamiliar with. And as you can see, all of them are out of candy. all of those buckets are empty.
Yeah, well, it's a few still handing them out here, but it's been a long parade for these groups. They're way, way back. And here comes I'm going to guess that soccer ball was had more air in it at the beginning of the parade.
Yes. It's not doing quite as well.
No.
Yeah. How many kids wouldn't want one of those in their backyard?
Looks like Epiphany Lutheran Church, York and Villette, with their annual children's resale coming up here just in a few days, couple weeks.
The weekend after next. Realtor Kara Wilkins, sorry.
It's a contingent from another one of your alma maters, John.
Elmhurst University. School we love, Elmhurst live for God shed his grace on thee. Glory be thy sons and daughters to the memory. There you go. And I'm actually wearing
of course
the
you are.
NCAA Division III National Championship t-shirt from last year when the Blue Jays finished second in the country.
Here comes victory right now.
They finished second in their conference tournament last weekend. 18-10 this year, just missed out on an NCAA bid. And they actually beat number 7 Wheaton twice during the year, including in the conference tournament at Wheaton.
We've got some fraternity and sorority groups in here.
Yeah.
We've got, and obviously a lot of the parade staff is affiliated with the university as well.
125 student athletes work this parade, helping with logistics, layout, all that kind of stuff. So,
well, as we've said multiple times, it takes a lot of folks to put on this parade.
So I got quite a stash here today.
Yeah, T-shirt, bouncy balls, dog treats,
Chalk,
cigars.
Dog treats is a good one though.
Let's not forget the chalk.
Yeah. Oh, how could you?
Yeah.
And here comes a Blue Jay cart. So there's more Elmhurst University people to come.
Well, yeah,
they have a large contingent
including the
here.
president. President Troy Van Aken.
And he's handing out beads. Never thought I'd see
handing out
that.
beads?
Oh no, I thought he
Looks like
tossed beads.
I don't know. Who knows?
Lucky to be a Blue Jay.
Well, there was a time, as you and I both know, that Elmhurst University, formerly Elmhurst College, was sort of stuck away, and a lot of folks in the community didn't know much about it. Now it's an integral part of the greater Elmhurst community.
When I lived in town and went to school there were a lot of people who didn't even think it was a 4-year school. They thought it was a 2-year school. And then I know this guy, Ken Bartels, who went to work there in the 80s and raised the profile. And then foolishly, he hired me in the 1990s and then was wise enough to get rid of me by shipping me off to the chamber.
Well, you've been with the chamber how many years now?
Since 1999. Hard to believe.
Good. Well, it obviously has been a wonderful matchup. So we have Pilot Beats coming in into view.
Most people know from the train station in downtown Elmhurst.
Yep.
Which that project is still in the works. It's taken longer because state and federal agencies are taking longer to approve plans. But that project is going to get done.
Well, the city's doing everything it can do to move it along. So at some point in time, we will have a new train station in downtown.
Originally, Ken, back in 2016, this was the year designated for construction. Not going to happen this year. But
well, COVID changed a little bit of that timing, of course, and then, as you said, there's just a lot of folks that have to weigh in on the approvals.
And while that project is expensive, the great news is that Elmhurst taxpayers will only fund a small portion of it. Federal, state, and other grants are picking up the bulk of that expense.
I'm not entirely sure what the what the holdup is this time, but I think maybe the group behind Pilot Pete's is doing some kind of interaction with the crowd. It would appear so. I can't really see it from here, but they're coming.
I think they're handing out cups of coffee.
Think so?
Yeah. They were waiting for the espresso machine to kick out another cup.
It's turned out to be a lot sunnier, not necessarily warmer, but a lot sunnier than was anticipated. So, well, this is the Pilot Pete's contingency. They're passing out shamrock crowns.
He's got a DJ working hard off the trailer.
Absolutely, yeah. The Elmhurst Art Museum is coming up right after these folks.
I think I see Thor down there.
I think that is Thor. I'm pretty confident Thor's never been in the parade before.
No, I would say it's our first Thor sighting.
Thor, did he hang out with Athena?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't really know either.
I actually was never a Marvel Comics fan.
Well,
but there is a big Marvel-related exhibit that will be at the Elmhurst Art Museum this summer.
Exactly right. Captain America strolling up too, and Spider-Man. So we're really safe today.
Yeah.
Those three on the scene. We have no worries.
Superheroes in Wilder Park and Marvelocity at the Elmhurst Art Museum.
Our stash has been raided, John.
Yes.
We had some miniature robbers come by here and snatch some of our candy.
We've got roller derby coming back in the. When I was a kid, I watched roller derby. I think it was Channel 32 had roller derby.
Sure enough. Who knew? Elmhurst Children's Theater. Like I said, no shortage of different color green.
And then Red Effect, Infrared Fitness. I could get into infrared fitness.
Yeah.
I just sit there and they scan me and I'm suddenly more fit.
There you go.
Don't know if it works that way.
I like the concept.
Yeah.
Grind Time Enterprise. There's our first limo.
Oh!
So we can get clearance on record label. It's usually what it is anyways. We should have a dance.
And the trolley now takes the lead. 3 trolleys to 2 boats. And I think we're at 3 on DJs. Here you go, Ken. I can get into the song. I got a Tootsie Roll.
That's right. There you go. The Wandering Shamrocks Harmonica Band.
How do you pull them together if they're always wandering?
It's just a talent. Ah. Some of the harmonica folks are reading from sheet music. I like it. Chicago Dogs.
Got a lot of noise down the street.
Well, I can't see yet who's driving that Mack truck, but there's a Mack truck coming up. Oh, there, it's another group raining candy on folks, and they still have candy because that whole truck, John, was filled with candy when they started.
I can still see some of the boxes up at the top.
That's right.
Man, they came prepped.
They did. Holy cats.
It's SBC waste haulers.
Well, I have to say that John, I have to tell you, normally these guys are at the end of the parade, and I think we're at the end of the parade.
Incoming! I picked up a football. I picked up a hat.
Huh?
The swag at the end of parade was as good as the swag at the start.
I think we've got a few. This is some of the parade dignitaries, I believe, the leadership. They're coming all by at the same time. There's Jim O'Connor. This is the parade group. This is the group, folks, that put the whole parade together. So happy to see. This is new. They've not done this before. So really pleased that they've decided to let people see who puts this St. Patrick's Day parade on for the community.
And the amazing thing, Ken, is that within an hour of the end of this parade, this street will be clean and open.
Yes.
Come forward or slide right. You're in the shade. Oh, come in the sun.
Thanks, John. Thanks, kid.
So, John, that wraps up the 26th St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's been a really great one, and we're delighted that we could work with Elmhurst TV to bring it to you.
Yeah, happy to be part of it. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you. And guess what's just come out, Ken? The sun. It went away for the whole parade, but came back just so we can say goodbye to you. See you at the Memorial Day Parade with Ken. Have a great time.